I've got my big rice cooker and my small rice cooker going because Lauren wanted to make a whole lot of sushi where they'll have some to take home with them and eat this coming week. So we're going to make probably at least 30 rolls of sushi. So I'll show y'all all this goodness here in a little bit. Normally I'm cooking casseroles or cake or cookies or something like that. But today my granddaughter's here and we're going to make sushi. She's been wanting to make it for a while, and why not this weekend? So I'm going to bring y'all over here to the butcher block and show you everything that goes in it. And there's one item that I don't have on here yet, and that's the rice wine vinegar that we use when we start rolling it. But I'll show y'all that bottle in just a little bit. But come on over here so you can see what goes in it. Got the rice cooking, and when it's all ready, we're going to go to the island back here and we're going to roll some sushi, and I'll let y'all watch. Okay, so here's all of the ingredients on the booze block. I've got the rice, and you need short grain rice to make sushi. And I have the rollers that you use to make it with, and y'all will see us using them in a little bit. I like to buy the English cucumber because it doesn't have the big seed in it and there's less waste. We put some cream cheese in ours. This is the nori sheets, the seaweed that you roll it up in. I have avocados and I have imitation crab. So this is what's going to be in our sushi. And as soon as the rice gets cooked, I've got it over there going in the rice makers, we're going to start making sushi. You'll also need some rice wine vinegar. And I get the seasoned kind, and I'll show y'all that in just a minute also. But we got rice cooking. Okay, we've peeled our cucumber that's like this, but we're going to wait and see if we need this one before we do two of them. These do have some seed in them, but they're not the large big seed like in your regular ones. So what I'm going to do, I've cut them in half, and I'm just going to cut them in little spears to go inside the sushi rolls. And I like them in as small a little strips as I can get them, because you can always add more than one. So I'm going to finish cutting these up, and then when I get to the next step, I will bring y'all back and show you the next preparation. We've got to get our avocados ready. Then we're going to take our, maybe I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll finish that in a minute. We're going to take our crab here. And I buy the leg style because it's easier to have the long strings of the crab in it than it is if you have chunks. So, just going to take these pieces and I just pull them off. You just want to pull them off in strings. And you can put however much you want in your sushi. But it's easier to manage the string pieces than it is the chunks. So I'm just going to finish stringing all of this and get the avocados cut up. I wait till last to do them because I don't want them to turn on me, and I don't want to add extra flavor by putting something in them. So I'm going to finish doing the crab and getting the cucumbers ready, and then last I'll get the avocado ready. Get y'all over there where we're fixing to start assembling some sushi rolls. I don't remember. Okay. This is the vinegar that I was talking about, and it's just seasoned rice vinegar, and it just gives it that wonderful taste. Now I've got my roller here, and I decided against the plastic wrap. It's a pain. So I've got my nori, my seaweed on the roller, and I'm going to add my rice, and I like to spread it around a little bit before I try to punch it down with my hands. That's real proper terms in case y'all are wondering too. And then I dampen my hands with the rice vinegar, because you put a little bit of the rice vinegar in your rice and stir it up where it'll have a little flavor, because I don't salt or anything the rice when I'm cooking it. That girl that taught me to make these did not season her rice at all. She did wash her rice. I think she said you wash it 5 or 6 times. And I don't know if that adds to the stickiness doing that. I don't know, but that was one of the instructions. But today I did not remember to wash my rice. Okay, once I get the rice on, then I'm going to add in some of the crab meat. And see why the long pieces are easier to work with. And then I'll add in, can y'all see? Add in some cucumber. And then you want to add some avocado. And we like to put cream cheese in ours. So I'm just going to stretch some cream cheese along here. Get my hands where I can see what I'm doing. And then you bring your nori up with your roller and you bring it over and you crip it to get it all in a roll there together, okay? And then as you roll this, you keep pinching it together. And you have sushi. You have a sushi roll. Now I'll show y'all in a little bit. I'm going to make one more roll and then I'll show y'all when we start cutting it how we serve it. This is what the seaweed package looks like, and there's all different brands and all different packages, but it's going to say sushi, or it's going to say seaweed, or it's going to have nori, N-O-R-I written on it. So I've got a piece here. I'm damping my hands with my vinegar and get some of my rice. I think last time we started measuring, and I think we used 1/3 of a cup of rice, but normally, because we're just making it for home and we're not having to keep up with expense or how much it's costing us to make it, we just get enough to fill our little piece of nori and don't worry about how much. And that just presses it down and presses it together. Now, if some of y'all make sushi and you have a website or you have instructions or some tips that you could give us, we've been making this several years and enjoyed it, making it just like this. But if you know something that we don't know, you need to share your information with us. So I'm going to add some crab meat. Depending on how fat you want your sushi is how much stuff you put in it. Add some avocado. Add a little bit of cream cheese across there. And some cucumber. And then we're just going to see, I didn't put the rice all the way up to the very edge because I need to have a little bit to start my roll that's not, don't have goodie on it, where I can keep it all in the roll, okay? And then you just keep pulling that forward and pinching across it to make sure that it's staying in a cylinder type. And there you have it. Now what I'm doing is I'm putting it on a baking rack because the rice is still a little warm. I'm let them cool, and then I'll wrap them in plastic wrap to where they'll be hold their shape. And then as the kids want them, we just unwrap it and slice it in the little rounds, and they dunk it in their soy sauce or whatever. Okay, I'll be back to show you some plated up here in a little bit.
Now you can see your
We are anxious to try, so I'm going to cut off, and what I do is I dip my knife every time, and the first one generally don't have anything on it, okay? And I kind of cut it at an angle. That's not quite deep enough, but it'll work. Cut the fingernail that time, didn't I? Probably. No, I didn't. And then sometimes I have to kind of work on the shape a little bit. But when it starts sticking, you need to dip your knife again. I love this little bitty booze block. I think I got it at TJ Maxx. It's a handy little dandy. And then we're going to have an end over here that's got a lot of extra nori on it that's not tasty. Okay. Now let me get it on a plate. And this is how the grandkids have eaten it ever since I first started making it. I put it on these little dishes. I give them a little ramekin with some soy sauce in it, or we have the other little kikkoman thing like you have at the Chinese restaurants. They put their soy on it and enjoy it. Okay, y'all, now you know how easy it is to make some sushi. And it's rewarding because it's delicious and you get a whole lot more for your money when you make it at home. I hope I've been clear on what I use and y'all have taken good notes because I don't have it written down. I just know that it takes avocado, cucumber, cream cheese, fake crab, and the rice, and you want your soy and you want your rice vinegar. So go back and watch it, jot down what we're using and the process. Now the little rolling mats, I don't remember where I got mine. It may have been at Kroger. A lot of your grocery stores will have the little mats right along with your nori and all the stuff that goes with that. So your Chinese seasonings and all of those dishes that's instant and so forth and so on. So just look in that area and you can find it. But I hope y'all try to make some, and if you've already made it, well, tell me down below in the comments how you do yours or what you do different. But you know what? When you don't know anything else, you're real happy with what you've got. So we're enjoying the way we know how to make it. Y'all have a blessed day. Come back in a day or two for something else new and good. Now, this isn't Southern cooking, but this Southern girl sure does like it. The good Lord bless y'all.